Sybil Rachel Betty Cecile Cholmondeley, née Sybil Sassoon, was one of the most dazzling and stylish figures of British high society in the 20th century. She was born on January 30th, 1894, in London into the distinguished and influential Sassoon family, a Jewish dynasty that had amassed wealth through trade and banking in India and Europe. Her father, Sir Edward Sassoon, was a member of Parliament and a prominent businessman, while her mother, Baroness Aline Caroline de Rothschild, came from the illustrious Rothschild family, making Sybil the heiress of two great Jewish dynasties. In 1913, at the age of 19, Sybil married George Cholmondeley, the fifth Marquess of Cholmondeley. This union merged the wealth and prestige of both families, making Sybil one of the most influential women of her time. The marriage produced 3 children, and she played a prominent role in high society, hosting lavish balls and dinners that attracted Britain's political and cultural elite. Sybil was renowned for her refined taste and passion for fashion, earning her the status of a style icon. Her outfits were frequently featured in the press, and her jewelry drew admiration and envy. She possessed an impressive collection of jewels, many of which were custom-made for her by famed jewelers of the era, such as Cartier and Boucheron. Her jewelry collection included statement pieces like gemstone necklaces, diamond tiaras, and substantial bracelets which she wore at social gatherings and receptions. Sybil had a particular fondness for large, precious stones, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, which she wore with exceptional grace. Her jewels not only underscored her social standing, but also reflected her individuality and impeccable sense of style. One of Sybil's most famous pieces was the magnificent French sapphire Parure crown. The tiara and the grand sapphire Parure were commissioned from the French crown jeweler Bapst in 1819 by Princess Marie-Thérèse, Duchess of Angoulême, the only surviving child of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. She was the first lady of the French court from 1815 to 1830 and briefly the Queen of France for just 20 minutes before being exiled. The Parure then passed to Queen Marie Amélie and subsequently to Empress Eugénie, although it was never depicted on either lady. After the fall of the French Empire, the Parure remained in the French state treasury and was displayed at the Exposition Universelle of 1878 and the Louvre in 1884, before being sold at auction along with the other crown jewels by the French Third Republic in May 1887. While the tiara and necklace of the sapphire Parure became part of the Rothschild family collection, the earrings were acquired by Prince Ferdinand of Bulgaria, later Tsar Ferdinand, as a wedding gift for his bride, Princess Marie-Louise of Bourbon-Parma. The tiara and necklace were presented as a wedding gift to Aline Caroline de Rothschild when she married Sir Edward Sassoon in 1887, and were later inherited by their only daughter, Sybil Sassoon, Marchioness of Cholmondeley. In 1937, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley wore the French crown sapphire Parure, adorned with a Cartier buckle brooch at her waist, at the coronation of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth at Westminster Abbey. The same ensemble was worn again at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1952, where Lord Cholmondeley served as Lord Great Chamberlain. The couple posed for a series of portraits by Cecil Beaton. Since Lord Cholmondeley was Lord Great Chamberlain, the Marchioness sat in the front row at the state opening of Parliament in 1958, wearing the Cartier buckle brooch on her waist and the French sapphire tiara. At some point, the tiara was significantly altered, incorporating sapphires from the necklace, which the Marchioness wore for a portrait. The French sapphire tiara was sold at auction by Lady Cholmondeley in 1973, with the necklace also sold separately, along with several other jewels with French royal provenance. The current owner remains unknown. Another stunning piece of jewelry was the Cartier buckle brooch of the Marchioness of Cholmondeley, which I mentioned earlier. This belt buckle brooch, crafted by Cartier in 1925, features a step-cut octagonal emerald weighing 38.71 carats, along with buff-topped caliber-cut sapphires and emeralds, and antique and single-cut diamonds. The brooch was exhibited at the International Exhibition of Modern Decorative and Industrial Arts in Paris. In the 1920s, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley wore the Cartier buckle brooch on her turban for a portrait by Cecil Beaton in the drawing room of their London residence at 25 Park Lane, set against the backdrop of Holbein's painting Portrait of a Lady with a Squirrel and a Starling. The Cartier buckle brooch also appeared in another series of Beaton portraits of Lady Cholmondeley in the early 1930s, paired with a striking Orléans emerald necklace. In 1937, the Marchioness wore the Cartier buckle brooch at her waist for the coronation of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth at Westminster Abbey. The same combination was worn again at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1952, where Lord Cholmondeley served as Lord Great Chamberlain. The couple posed for a series of portraits by Cecil Beaton. Following the Marchioness of Cholmondeley's death in 1989, the Cartier buckle brooch was discreetly sold and eventually became part of the legendary Al Thani collection, owned by the Qatari royal family, which was exhibited worldwide. In 2019, the brooch was among the lots sold at the Maharajas and Mughal Magnificence sale in New York, fetching $1,545,000. The Cartier buckle brooch was apparently acquired by the Cartier collection and showcased at the exhibition Cartier and Islamic Art in Search of Modernity at the Musée des Arts Décoratifs in Paris. Another remarkable piece of jewelry was the Orleans emerald necklace. This historic emerald and diamond necklace, dating back to the early 19th century, around 1810, features a series of 9 graduated square-shaped emerald and diamond clusters, with the central cluster showcasing a large, cushion-shaped emerald drop suspended from a diamond scroll setting flanked by 2 smaller drops. The intersections of the diamond collets are adorned with smaller emerald and diamond square cluster drops. The necklace originated from the collection of Princess Maria Carolina of Bourbon-II Sicilies, Duchess of Aumale, who bequeathed it to her husband, Prince Henri of Orléans, Duke of Aumale, upon her death in 1869, leaving no heirs. In 1895, the Duke of Aumale gifted the emerald necklace and a matching tiara as a wedding present to his goddaughter, Princess Helene of Orléans, when she married the Duke of Aosta. The Duchess of Aosta was famously depicted wearing the emerald necklace in a portrait, where she adorned her Savoy knot and star tiara with cabochon emeralds from her other emerald necklace. Both of these pieces remain with Princess Helene's grandchildren. At some point in the early 1930s, without any apparent reason, Princess Helene, Duchess of Aosta, sold the emerald tiara and necklace of the Duchess of Aumale. They were purchased by Sybil Sassoon, Marchioness of Cholmondeley, who wore them for a series of stunning portraits in 1930, paired with a striking Art Deco buckle brooch set with emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds. In 1953, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley lent the emerald necklace and the accompanying tiara, the only time they were publicly worn and photographed, to her friend Lady Churchill for the Nobel Prize ceremony. After Lady Cholmondeley's death in 1989, the emerald necklace and tiara were auctioned at Christie's in London on June 20, 1990, and entered a private collection until they resurfaced at Christie's auction in Geneva in 2015, where the necklace sold for 2,629,000 Swiss francs. Having joined the renowned Al Thani collection of the Qatari royal family, the Orleans emerald necklace was exhibited at the Roi du Monde exhibition at Château de Fontainebleau in 2018. The following year, the emerald necklace was once again auctioned at Christie's Magnificent Jewels sale in May 2019, fetching 1,815,000 Swiss francs and entering another private collection. Sibyl's style and passion for jewelry were an inspiration to many. She did not just wear jewels. She made them an extension of her personality, masterfully blending elegance with bold accents. At balls and official events, she always appeared impeccable, and her image remains in history as the epitome of aristocratic chic. Which piece of jewelry impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments.